Hello, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator. Not such a good voice for your loved one. Everything else works, just the voice is a little, so it might be a little irritating, sorry, but I got to get some work done. I can't get any further behind. So, sorry for you had to wait so long. It's been a rough month, a lot of hiccups, and now I'm losing my voice. Anyway, I don't think I've done a reading for you before. So I like to explain real quick how this works. And I'm hoping the more I talk, the more it works out of me. I see, hear, feel, sense, know. They talk to me, but they also show me pictures, and I call it spiritual charades. I try to describe the picture the best that I can. They never waste a message. There is always a reason for whatever they say or show. So if it doesn't make any sense now, keep it in mind. You'll either remember it later, see it later, or somebody else will validate it for you later and go, oh, I know what he's talking about. Okay. So this is not an exact science. Sometimes you got to stretch it outside the box a little bit. He won't give me all the details. He'll give me just enough so you should understand what he's talking about. Details are nobody else's business. So, okay. He's talking about horses. Horses. I don't know if you have horses. He had horses. He took you to ride horses. I don't know where he's going with that. Sometimes they just throw words out, and it's his show. He can run it however he wants to within reason. He knows best. Okay, was his passing his choice? He says yes and no. Yes, he was ready to go. Yes, he was done. Did he do it? Did he do it? Did he do it on purpose? No, he did not. But yes, when the time came, he goes, yep, I'm ready to check out of here. Oh, I know that feeling well. And what they taught me is, come on, throat. What they've taught me is, before we come here, we have a predestined exit point. It's kind of like when they say your number's up. It's kind of that way. Your predestined exit point. I don't think we always decide how we're going to leave, but we decide when we're going to leave. I don't know what the purpose of that is, but it could be when you're 1 day old. It could be when you're 100 years old. Your timeline can waver a little bit depending on what's going on with the people around you, how it might affect them, but it's still going to be in that area. Why? I don't know. I can't get an answer from them why it's done that way, but it's part of your plan that you make before you come here. So was it his time to go? Yes. Could he have stretched it a little longer? Maybe. Did he want to? No. He says, Mama's there, Mama's there, Mama's there. I was ready to go see Mom. He saw her before he left. He knew she was there, waiting for him, and he was okay with that. He said, I was tired of the shit down here. I almost feel like he had a calling to go home. For years, I felt like, I just want to go home. I just want to go home. I just want to go home up there. And I didn't know why I had such a strong feeling that I needed to get the hell out of here and go home. Because I had a little bit of a memory, which we're not supposed to have, of being there and the love and the peace and I had a longing for that because I couldn't find that here. And you can't find it here because it's so different up there. It's such a different, pure love, and none of this anger, hate, resentment, all that crap. So it feels like he had a little bit of that in him. What I've learned is when we come down here, we plan most of this before we get here. And then we're supposed to have this amnesia and not remember that up there. But some of us seem to have a little inkling, and he had it. It's like, I want to go back. I want to go home. I want to go with mom. I'm ready. I'm ready. I want to go back. I want to go home. He just keeps repeating that. And it's a struggle. I know I've been through it until I finally started doing this. And then it was like, okay, now I know why I have to stay here, even though I want to go home. I hope that makes sense. He said he kind of struggled with self-esteem. He didn't feel good about himself. He didn't feel good about the way he looked. I'm not going to say he was depressed or anything like that, but he just, and maybe nobody else knew that he had all this inside of him. Just not the happiest. He felt like he couldn't be the level he wanted to be to make him feel good inside. Again, he's saying, I just wanted to go home. Okay, he's shown me you sitting on your lap and you're awful little and eating popcorn with him. I usually ask them, don't go back so far that they cannot remember this, but hopefully you look pretty young. Hopefully you remember sitting on his lap at times eating popcorn, watching TV. Now he's showing sitting outside on the porch eating popcorn too, or snacking on something. It is for sure popcorn inside. It may not be popcorn outside, but you're still snacking on something on the porch. He enjoyed having you around. He said you gave him a little spark. You gave him a little bright light in this life. He's talking about curly Q, CURLY, Q. So names, we don't get exact. We used to. Come on, boys. We used to get names exact. We don't anymore. Don't know why. Nicknames can be the same. So it could be just something close. It might be you have to stretch that outside the box. Curly Q. Because it feels like a nickname. Now he's showing you little, pretty little, bouncing you on his knee. Bouncing, 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 bouncing his knee. Riding like a horse. That could be why he was referring to the horse. In the beginning, so if he was talking about a real horse, he could have been. Or he could be talking about this right now where you're riding the horsey on his knee. You look awful little. I don't know if you could remember this. So I always ask them to come through with at least 2 or 3 things that you can validate so you know for sure that it's him. And he says archdiocese, that's Catholic. Was he a very religious man? Something about a strict upbringing? Even though he was happy to see mom. Happy, happy. Something about a strict upbringing. Oh, now I lost him. Hang on. I don't know if he's showing me that he had trouble before the end. Like, it's like he's in the bathroom and he's kind of falling into the door and falling into the wall and very, very unsteady on his feet. Almost like a drunk thing, but, or maybe it is a drunk thing. Maybe that's what he's showing me. But he's stumbling, hitting wall, hitting the counter, hitting. So you should hear this in your bathroom. If you hear something thumping around in your bathroom, that'll be your grandfather. So if you hear some noise in your bathroom, you hear a thump, it may not be very loud. It's usually not when you're in the same room. Don't know why. It's usually like when you walk out of the room or you're getting ready to walk in there and you hear thump and you go, what was that? But this is his body actually hitting. So anyway, like I said, I don't know if this was because maybe he drank or he was just having trouble walking. So when you hear that noise, validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him, and ask him to bring you more signs if you want more signs. That's totally up to you. And if it's something that scares you and you don't like it, tell him so. Tell him don't do it anymore. He's also knocking on the bathroom door. It could be any door in the house, but he's showing the bathroom door. So again, validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him, and ask him to bring you more if you want more signs. That's totally up to you. Okay, he's calling himself the Big O instead of Otis, the Big O. So I don't know if somebody called him this or he called himself this. And he has a smile on his face when he says it. He says, don't go through life as serious as I was. Life is meant to be enjoyed. Go find somebody that will give you a belly laugh. Okay, so he comes up on my right side. You know, some of these look backwards. It's my right side. And he bends down and he says, I love you. He's talking to you. You might hear this. You might feel his energy on, doesn't have to be your right side, but that's where he's coming in. So anyway, could be. Could always be your right side. Don't know. It's up to him. You will feel the scratch of his whiskers on your cheek. And it might just feel like a hair on there that you can't get off. It could feel like a little prickling on there. It could feel like goosebumps. It could get really, really warm when his energy gets that close. When Bob gets really close to this side, more than else he had anyway. My ear will actually turn bright red and burn like fire because his energy is so strong. And he got so strong one time that I actually got the thermometer out, thought I was getting the virus, and I clicked this side, perfectly normal. Well, nothing's normal in my world. Click this side, the alarm went off because his energy was so strong. So they make me itch too. He's getting really close. So know that he's trying to rub this stubble on there, his whiskers on there. So when that happens, validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him, and ask him to bring you more if you want more. And it's just like everybody feels the energy different. So I don't know how you're going to feel it. You won't feel it like I feel it. But it feels like it's full, like almost like a bubble, like a balloon kind of pushing on you or taking up space, or it just feels full. So know that when you feel that, and it usually won't be all around you, it'll just be wherever they're standing. And I can feel it in my hand when I do this because he's right here. Okay, my hand just feels full. Just, what does it hurt to trust? And the more you trust, the more you're going to feel him. The closer he can get, the more you trust it. I love you. I love you. You're such a good kid. Such a good kid. I loved having you around. Even though he says he probably didn't show it on the outside, on the inside, he'd kind of get a little fluttery when he knew he was going to get to see you. He's calling you his little stinker. Ornery. But I liked your ornery. It was a fun ornery. Not a pain in the butt ornery. You just kind of, I guess you were just kind of like, say it again. Like when you came in, you kind of owned it. That's my grandfather. Yep. That's him. Yep. He's mine. Yep. You kind of like ruled the roost in his eyes. It was fine. It was perfect. He said you could spread your toys all over. He really didn't care. He might have acted like he cared, but he really didn't care. He just keeps going back to when you were younger. He said he was a little happy. He was a little happier back then. And he really enjoyed you when you were young and you were around. He says, what do you want to be when you grow up? I have no clue how old you are. I don't try to creep anybody's Facebook page ahead of time because it messes up what little logical mind I have. What do you want to be when you grow up? Think about it. Think about what you really want to be when you grow up. What do you really want? Bottom line, doesn't matter. Like, saying it doesn't matter, like if it's a career or whatever, or if it's just a hobby, or just want to float in a pool the rest of your life. It doesn't matter what it is. What do you really, really want? Really, in your heart of hearts, what do you really want to be? He says, now go do it. Don't waste your life like I did. Go do it. Yeah, he's showing me. My grandson gets embarrassed. We'll go eat somewhere, and when I come out, I'll be dancing across the parking lot. He'll go, Grandma, really? And I go, you don't think I care what those people looking out that window think, do you? I don't give a rat's ass what they think. If I feel like dancing in the parking lot, that's what I'm going to do. That's what he wants you to do. Go dance in the parking lot. Go dance to your vehicle. It raises your vibration. And when you get the attitude that you don't give a rat's ass what those people's judgment is looking out that window, what their judgment will be is they'll wish they were like you. They'll wish they felt that free. They're not in a box, or they're in a box. You're not when you do that. He says, get out of that box. Get out of that box. Don't be in a box like those people looking at you out the window like, what the hell's wrong with her? It's none of their business what's wrong with me. He wants you to have that attitude. He said he always felt like he was in a box. He had to do certain things at a certain time, a certain way. He doesn't want you to do that. He wants you to strongly, strongly think about it. He makes me itch. He drew my eyes to the April 22nd. It could be that he's drawing me to April 22nd itself. It could be he's drawing me to the 22nd of the month. Or it could be he's drawing me to my appointment to get my lashes done. I have lashes. Maybe you have lashes. Maybe he's validating that. Or maybe you want to. Go do it. Go do it. Go try it. Go get some lashes. He loves you very much. I promise you 1,000%. He can hear you. He can see you. Talk to him all you want to. He will respond in certain ways. I thought he was going to tell me something else. I can't quite hear you. Okay, he's showing me an airplane. I don't know if you're planning on a trip, just took a trip. Oh, this is getting annoying. Sorry, I sound so bad. Or maybe he took a lot of trips. Maybe he flew a plane. Maybe he worked in the airport. I don't know. Sometimes they'll just show me something or throw a word out. It's his show. He can do it any way he wants to, within reason. He's showing the plane taking off though, because it's rising, it's ascending. Now he's talking about pies, Pies. He said he loved almost all pies, but he had a favorite one, peach cobbler. Some kind of a fruit pie. So imagine what that smells like coming fresh out of the oven. Maybe you made these for him. Maybe you cooked him peach pies or whatever this fruit is. Imagine that smell. You will get that smell. You could be in the store, you can be outside, you can be in the car, it doesn't matter where you're at. You get that whiff of that fresh baked fruit pie. That'll be him stopping in. He's going yum, 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 yummy. He's rubbing his belly. That will be a sign from him when you get that smell. Validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him. Ask him to bring you more if you want more. It's up to you. He loves you very much. He said you were one of the bright spots in his life. And he wants to thank you for that. He says you saw something in him that others didn't see. And he's thanking you for that. So it almost feels like you guys had a special connection. And you may not have known it on your end, but he felt that on his end. And he wants to thank you for that. He said, so don't wait until you get to where I'm at to have to come back and tell somebody you love them. Tell them now, while they're still here. He says, you be a good girl, but then he says, you are a good girl. So, in his eyes, you are. sees nothing but beauty in you. Nothing but beauty. Beauty on the outside, beauty on the inside. He sees nothing but beauty in you. And I've had a lot of them lately doing this. They want you to see yourself that way. How would he look at you? I just had this in the last reading too. How would he look at you? He wants you to look at yourself like that, with the love in that, seeing the beauty in you, see the beauty in yourself. Take care of those around you. He says, but also step back and let them make their own mistakes. Don't hover. Help. Help. Don't hover. There's a difference. Be the shoulder, but don't be overbearing with it. That makes sense. I think I know what he means. He says you have a knack. K-N-A-C-K. I keep spelling because I'm not sure you can tell what I'm saying. Sorry. I just have too much work to do. I had to go ahead and get some of these done. No sick for the wicked. Okay. With that, he's going to leave. And he's walking away holding a tulip. Only it's red. A red tulip. I don't know if you have some tulips out, red tulips outside. Mine have already bloomed. I think they're kind of getting wilted. Or I live in Kansas, or where you live. Or if maybe you have taken some to the cemetery to him, or laid one by his picture. He's not saying why he's showing this tulip. Okay, with that, he's leaving. Thank you for being so patient with me. I've had a bunch of hiccups this month, and now this. Hard to get any work done. All the things that have happened this month. Anyway, much love to you. Thank you so much for letting me be his voice. And for being patient with me. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones, kind of. Not so good today. Love you. See you later.